What if I told you that true strength isn't about how loud you can shout, how big your muscles are, or how many people you can intimidate? What if it's about something far deeper, something cultivated in quiet moments and unleashed when it matters most? Today, we're diving into a story from the heart of Brooklyn, a story that echoes in the experiences of many of us who've had to stand firm when the world tried to push us down. It's about a young man named David, a quiet observer with an ancient wisdom in his hands, who faced an unexpected storm. His journey is a powerful reminder that for our community, for anyone who's ever felt underestimated or unheard, the greatest power lies not in outward aggression, but in the unwavering spirit cultivated within. This isn't just a tale of conflict, it's a testament to the resilience, the discipline, and the quiet dignity that empowers us to overcome. So, settle in, because this lesson in inner power is one you won't forget. Cypress Hill Park, Brooklyn. A symphony of urban tranquility on a warm Saturday afternoon. Sunlight dappled through ancient oak leaves, illuminating families laughing, children squealing on playgrounds, the distant thud of a basketball game providing a comforting rhythm. Amidst this gentle hum, David, a 17-year-old, sat peacefully under the grandest oak, absorbed in a worn paperback on Stoicism. He found solace in ancient wisdom, a quiet contrast to the city's usual hustle. His younger sister, Lily, a whirlwind of boundless energy, was at a nearby soccer practice. David, a watchful older brother, promised his mum he'd wait and walk her home. Then the peace shattered. A low guttural rumble grew steadily, relentlessly, cutting through the park's calm. It was the roar of modified motorcycles, engines deliberately amplified, echoing louder than they should. 5 imposing figures, members of the Iron Vipers biker gang, rolled in. They didn't just pass through, they executed an aggressive, synchronized turn, parking with a collective snarl near the soccer field. Dressed in intimidating black leather and dark denim, their heavily tattooed arms exposed, their presence was a jarring, almost violent contrast to the park's serenity. Their eyes, cold and calculating, didn't idly scan. They swept past families and playing children, settling with unnerving precision directly on David. He felt the shift, a prickling sensation on his arms, a subtle knot tightening in his gut. He forced himself to remain absorbed in his book, but the predatory intensity of their gaze was undeniable. "What's your deal, kid? Loitering?" Grit's voice, the leader's, was a guttural growl, direct and laced with unspoken threat. David deliberately closed his book, setting it aside. "Just waiting for my sister, sir," he replied, his tone polite yet unyielding. Grit's scarred lips twisted into a sneer, sharing a glance with his crew. "This doesn't look like your kind of place," he drawled, the implication thick in the air. David's jaw tightened. "It's a public park," he stated, meeting Grit's gaze. The biker's smirk vanished. "Got a smart mouth, huh?" he growled, stepping closer. The others spread out, forming a menacing semicircle, isolating David. He scanned the park. Most attention was on the soccer game. He had to buy time. Lesson 1. Calmness in the face of aggression is your initial shield. It doesn't invite peace, but it buys precious seconds to assess and prepare. Years of grueling training in Master Kenji's dojo had forged David's mind as much as his body. Observe, anticipate, react. Master Kenji's voice echoed, a mantra for life, not just sparring. David knew true fighting wasn't the first option, it was the last. This philosophy, ingrained through sweat and relentless practice, was his most potent weapon. "Look," David said, his voice measured, a steady current against the rising tide of aggression. "I don't want any trouble, I'm just here for my sister." He spoke without challenge or fear, but Grit leaned in, his breath heavy with stale smoke. "Trouble? Who said anything about trouble?" he sneered, the unspoken promise of violence hanging heavy. David's hands rested loosely on his knees, seemingly relaxed, yet every muscle was subtly tensed. "Maybe you should show us what you've got," another biker challenged, smirking. David didn't move. His eyes, sharp and unwavering, remained locked on Grit. Years of practice had taught him to read body language, the slight shifts in posture, the tensing of muscles, the shallow changes in breathing, all betraying intent. These men weren't here to talk. Grit, expecting David to crumble, leaned closer, his imposing shadow falling over the teen. "What's the matter, kid? You scared?" he taunted. David exhaled slowly, imperceptibly. His concern wasn't fear, but time. How long until Lily's game ended, until someone noticed? This internal clock, ticking away, was far more pressing than the hollow words of an aggressor. This agonizing wait, this calculated stand, revealed a profound truth. Lesson 2. True courage isn't the absence of fear, but calculated action despite its presence. In those moments of calm, strategy is born. "Leave him alone!" A child's voice, sharp and clear, sliced through the thick tension. David turned, his gaze falling upon Lily, no older than 10, standing a few yards away, sweat glistening from her soccer game. A jolt, sharp and visceral, shot through David. He had managed himself, but Lily's presence changed everything. "Lily, stay back," David called out, his voice urgent. But it was too late. The bikers, like a pack of wolves, turned, their grins widening into something truly predatory. "This your sister?" one asked, pointing a gloved finger. "Maybe we should teach you both a lesson." In that instant, something fundamental shifted within David. His pulse quickened, not with fear, but with a fierce, unwavering resolve. The game had changed. This wasn't about avoiding trouble, it was about protecting his younger sister. He rose slowly, deliberately, his movements fluid, his eyes never left the group. He shifted his weight, planting his feet in the familiar, powerful stance from Master Kenji's dojo, a stance speaking of readiness, not aggression. "Don't touch him," David said, his voice calm yet edged with steel. Grit laughed, joined by his crew. "Look at this guy, thinks he's tough." But David's unwavering silence and composed stance unnerved them. They expected fear, found only an immovable force. "You're not going to do anything," one biker scoffed, stepping closer. The unexpected appearance of Lily was the critical twist, the catalyst that turned a passive confrontation into an active defense. It solidified David's purpose and brought forth his third profound lesson. Lesson 3. The greatest strength isn't found in avoiding the fight, but in finding the unwavering conviction to protect what truly matters. "You're not going to do anything," the biker sneered, stepping closer. David's voice, low and deliberate, cut through the taunt. "You don't want to do this." The laughter stopped. Grit, face contorted in annoyance, lunged, raising a beefy hand to shove David. Before Grit's hand connected, David shifted. His body moved like a released spring, fluid and impossibly quick. Grit stumbled, momentum carrying him harmlessly past. In one seamless motion, David struck the man's wrist with an open palm, twisting it away. Grit grunted in pain, hand dropping, glaring with fury and disbelief. "What the?" he choked. "I warned you," David cut him off, his voice calm, edged with authority. The other two bikers rushed forward. The first swung wildly, but David ducked easily, his movements smooth. He delivered a sharp, precise kick to the man's knee, sending him crumpling with a cry of pain. The second man hesitated for a split second. All David needed. He pivoted, delivering a powerful spinning kick to the man's ribs, knocking the wind out of him. Grit, face crimson, lunged again, swinging both fists like a brawler. David stayed light, dodging with ethereal agility, slipping past each blow. A crowd gathered, parents, kids, soccer players, drawn by the spectacle. Someone pulled out a phone, recording every second. Grit tried to grab David's jacket, but David moved faster, twisting out of his grip, delivering a precise strike to the solar plexus. Grit stumbled back, gasping, his tough exterior cracking. "Enough!" David's voice echoed across the park. "I don't want to hurt you. Walk away." The bikers, defeated, limped back to their bikes, muttering curses. As they pulled away, Grit turned, pointing a finger at David. "This ain't over, kid!" He spat, before roaring off. This sequence was a masterclass in controlled chaos, a testament to David's fourth vital lesson. Lesson 4. True strength lies in control, strategic timing, and the discipline to strike only when necessary. David remained composed as applause rippled through the park. Lily ran up, eyes wide with fear and awe. "David, are you okay?" she asked, her voice trembling. David knelt, reassuring her with a gentle smile. "I'm fine, Lil. Let's go home." As they walked, Lily kept glancing at him, How did you do all that? They were huge. David chuckled. It's not about being bigger, Lily. It's about being prepared, staying calm, and knowing when to act. Lily frowned. But what if they come back? That guy said it wasn't over. David stopped, his tone serious. If they do, we'll handle it. But what happened today wasn't about fighting. It was about standing up for myself. And for you, violence isn't the answer, unless it's the only option. Lily nodded slowly, absorbing his words. David squeezed her shoulder. Remember, Lil, it's about knowing your own worth, your own truth, and refusing to let anyone take that away. This quiet conversation, so profound for a child, etched the fifth crucial lesson into David's mind. Lesson 5. The true victory isn't just surviving the fight, but imparting the wisdom of resilience. At home, Brenda, David's mother, waited on the porch. As David recounted the story, her expression shifted from fear to quiet pride. "I'm proud of you for protecting your sister and yourself," she said, her voice thick with gratitude. "But promise me, don't ever take risks like that unless you have no other choice." David promised, meaning it. That night, David replayed the events. He wasn't afraid. Fear only has power if you let it. He felt a quiet sense of purpose. The world wasn't always fair, but moments like this proved courage and discipline made a difference. This experience wasn't just a test of skills. It was a reminder that standing up against wrongs, no matter how daunting, was always worth it. David's story, born on a quiet Saturday in a Brooklyn park, is far more than just an unexpected confrontation. It's a powerful narrative about the strength we find within ourselves when tested, especially when our loved ones are at stake. For so many of us in the Black community, this struggle, this need to stand firm against external pressures, is a lived experience. It's about maintaining our peace, protecting our own, and rising above with dignity and discipline, even when faced with overwhelming odds. Remember David's unwavering calm, his precise movements, and the profound lessons he carried from Master Kenji's dojo. True strength isn't about avoiding fear, it's about harnessing it, transforming it into a powerful focus that allows us to act with integrity and purpose. It's about the discipline to choose our battles and the courage to win them, not just with fists, but with wisdom. David's path is a beacon, reminding us that every challenge is an opportunity to reveal the extraordinary power that lies within us, a power rooted in resilience, preparation, and the unshakable spirit of those who refuse to be broken. How can you stand firm in your own life with calm and dignity when faced with your own bikers? How can you cultivate the discipline to prepare for whatever challenges come your way? Don't let this powerful lesson end here. If this story moved you, if it reminded you of your own incredible resilience, like this video to help us spread this message of empowerment far and wide. Share it with someone who needs a reminder of their inner strength, someone who's navigating their own tough roads. And most importantly, subscribe to our channel for more inspiring stories like David's, stories that remind us that sometimes the quietest voices carry the strongest impact, and that true power always comes from within. Your journey of strength continues, and we're here to walk it with you.